What if the love you give was never meant to hurt you? What if the very thing you call love is actually a survival strategy? In her book, Women Who Love Too Much, Robin Norwood explores a painful and hidden truth: that a very large number of women confuse love with addiction, and to be more accurate, it really is emotional addiction. Not because they're weak, but because they were taught early on that pain and love live in the same house. This video is not about blaming, it's about revealing, so we can choose differently. Most women who love too much have something in common: a childhood where they had to earn affection from their parents, where being quiet, helpful, or responsible was the only way to stay safe, as in, to not be shunned by the family. This is a nature-given behavior. Through adaptation, children are making sure to survive. So they learn to take care of others instead of themselves. They became emotional caretakers, fixers, pleasers, not out of choice, but out of survival, the pure drive of the very existence of every human being. And here's the dangerous part: the brain imprints those behavior patterns as love. So later in life, these women feel drawn to men who are cold, angry, addicted, unavailable, because that's what their nervous system recognizes as familiar. And the more painful it gets, the more they try to fix it. That's not love, that's compulsion. Norwood calls it what it is: emotional addiction, a dependency not on a substance, but on suffering, so to speak. And like any addiction, it starts with denial, mostly because this addiction is coming from the deep subconsciousness, where the true reason remains hidden under a vast variety of emotional wounds from the past. You say, "He just needs more time. If I love him enough, he'll change. I can handle it." But your body tells the truth. Your heart races when his name lights up your phone. Your stomach knots when he pulls away. Your self-worth crashes when he criticizes you. And yet you stay, because deep down, some part of you believes, if I can make this work, I'll finally be enough. That belief is the real wound. And healing begins when you stop trying to be enough for someone else and start becoming whole for yourself. Learning what healthy relationship really means. Understanding what attachment style is dominant. What trigger points are getting pushed to force you to unhealthy behavior. So what does that look like? It starts with awareness. Ask yourself, when do I feel most anxious in relationships? Who am I attracted to? And does that attraction come from peace or from fear? Write it down. Draw the map of your past. Begin tracing the emotional echoes. Many women discover that their most intense relationships mirrored the roles they played as children, the emotional weight they carried, the silence they endured, the chaos they normalized. Realizing this can be shattering, but it's also empowering, because once you name the pattern, you can step out of it. So here comes the first tool to change for the better. Tool number 1, the attraction audit. Write down 3 people you've deeply fallen for. List what character traits drew you in. Was it the ice-cold tone in his voice when he was disappointed? After that list, how the relationship made you feel over time. Were you happy because you could fix something for him, even though you have completely neglected your own needs? You will see a pattern, not of love, but of familiarity with pain. Now comes the next step, breaking the cycle. Detaching from a drama-bonded relationship is not just emotional, but it's also physiological. You are unhooking your nervous system from a pattern it once believed was safety. You may experience withdrawal, sadness, guilt, anger, longing. These are not signs you're making a mistake. They are signs you are healing. Your subconsciousness is fighting because it didn't learn the healthy relationship dynamics, because it's different from the known pain. In addition, a second tool that helps you to reunite with your true self. Tool number 2, daily self-reconnection practice. Each morning, ask yourself, what do I need today? Not, what does he need? Not, how can I fix it? Just, what do I need for this day to be fulfilled? Let the answers come honestly. And please know that this takes regular practice. If you don't hear or feel an answer right away, be patient with yourself. Keep in mind that this conditioning took years, sometimes even decades to form. So don't expect to change it within days or weeks. Maybe you need silence to hear your inner voice. Maybe you need laughter to encourage yourself. Maybe you need to cry to let all the grief go. Whatever is calling, it is okay to sit with yourself, listen to yourself. It had been unheard for so long. Then honor that need like you would for someone you love, because that someone is you. And because this old conditioning is graved into your subconsciousness very deeply, it can be very helpful to remind yourself. That's when the third tool comes in. Tool number 3, mirror affirmation. Stand in front of a mirror. Say aloud, I am allowed to exist without saving anyone. I am not responsible for someone else's chaos. I am learning to love without losing myself. Repeat for 7 days. You may cry. You may feel nothing. Both are okay. Healing speaks in many languages. But here's something important to understand. When you start setting boundaries, you might feel guilty. When you stop overgiving, you might feel selfish. When you stop chasing love, you might feel lonely. That's normal, because healing often feels wrong before it feels right. Remember, your nervous system has been taught a certain way, and after realizing that this is not the way you want it to be, you are fighting against your own being, a version of your hurt self. This version will defend itself, but eventually, it will also recognize that the life lessons from the past are no longer in the favor of the both of you. It's important to know that healing is not linear. You might miss the chaos. You might miss him. You might even text him. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. Forgive yourself and return to yourself, again and again. Now, here's the shadow side. Sometimes, once we become aware of emotional patterns, we use that awareness as a weapon. We diagnose people. We detach too quickly. We build walls instead of boundaries. We declare independence without intimacy. Let this be your reminder. Awareness is a gift, but power without compassion creates new harm. So try this. Micro-reflection. Am I protecting myself or punishing someone else? Am I healing or avoiding vulnerability? Am I growing or performing growth to stay safe? There's no shame in these questions. They help us stay honest. They keep the heart soft. Because the greatest courage isn't to love harder. It's to stop loving where you are not respected. And no matter how much you were taught that chaos is normal, you have the right to choose peace. Every single time. Let's talk about another truth. Some women carry deep shame for the things they tolerated. The cheating, the silence, the emotional manipulation. But here's what Norwood reminds us. What you allowed in the past was based on what you knew then. And now that you know more, you can choose again. Without blame. Without self-hate. With grace. Here comes the last tool for today's video. Tool number 4. The Grace Letter. Write a letter from your current self to the woman or the girl you were back then. Tell her, you did your best with what you knew. I'm proud of you for surviving. And now, we are going somewhere different. Read it out loud. You will feel the shift. You will cry. You will recognize your strength. You will be thankful for your endurance. You will feel happiness for your strong will to survive. Because we don't heal by getting it right. We heal by getting real. And healing is never about perfect timing. It's about brave decisions. The one where you say, I matter, even if no one else says or hears it. I deserve peace, even if I've only known pain. Let us remember, emotional dependency doesn't just harm women, it harms men too, and families, and generations. What we call love, when distorted, becomes trauma recycled. But what we heal becomes legacy. So if you've ever stayed too long, given too much, betrayed yourself for a drop of attention, this is not your shame. It's your starting point. Let's stop the cycle. Let's return. Let's grow slow and root deep, together. This is Read Easy HQ, and we tell stories that heal beyond gender, because what we're all really searching for is connection.